Welcome back, everybody. We've got a last chance qualifier because a spot has opened up in Group B. Flipside won't be playing. Some of their players playing on the team in Group A, so we don't know what team they're going to be on. It could be Flipside, could be Mouse, could be Quantic, could be all three. See some $20 million merge going on between those organizations. You know,
maybe
esports. I don't think so.
Could happen. Probably not. Why am I still sellout?
You're so what? What was that? I don't even know what that's from.
Because I gave myself a advertisement on my Twitter, and then I got labeled.
Oh yeah, I didn't even plug myself then.
I plugged you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Making sure.
Good teammates.
That's what you're here for.
Speaking
of plugs, this is the WePlay Dota 2 tournament. For those of you interested, there's a Dota 2 TV ticket available, $8.
$7.99.
$7.99. Got to get that value. And you get a courier as well as a HUD, in-game HUD. Do you call them HUDs?
HUD.
HUD.
I guess
I call them HUDs. Why not?
HUD sounds like huts.
Yeah.
And then it makes me think of farming huts.
Dota 2 HUDs. But this is going to be Duza Gaming up against Team DTS2010. It's not the DTS organization, but they're paying homage to the old team of DTS. And
what is this
using that
fourth
name.
band Wisp in our Western Dota?
Wow. And
what is going on
not just
here?
Western Dota, Russian Dota.
Yeah. Okay.
Why not? Well, DTS really favoring the Chen. Speaking of the random bans, Doom getting banned in the first stage. These two teams, I mean, mentioned they're both Russian teams. They're probably very familiar with each other and what kind of picks they like to play.
Probably just scrim against each other all day. So this is like an official match that kind of decide all. And I guess the weird pick and ban really shows. Because if you're up against a team that you know nothing about, you don't leave Wisp till fourth.
You don't ban Doom as well.
Yeah, you don't ban Doom either.
And Doom ban basically says, hey, they know each other.
Yeah.
I haven't been following all of Duza Gaming's matches in the Starlight, but maybe...
Is it Duza or Duza?
Duza.
Duza? I don't know.
Duza. If you're in Australia, it's Duza.
Duza?
Duza's a very Australian.
Sounds pretty cool.
I'm okay with that. Duza Gaming. They've gone for Rubik Darksy, so standard opening despite the non-standard bans from DTS, so we're not seeing anything out of the ordinary yet from them. I want to see some more Space Cow. We've seen a few of it in the Cena Cup with the Chinese teams. It's time for the Western teams to step up and show their Spirit Breaker.
The Space Power on either team is really bad, though. Like, it just... Space Power does not work against Clockwork. He charges in, you put a clog, and he's just bounced off. Ricochets off that cog, and on the other side, you just pick him up with Telekinesis Lift or Vacuum to cancel it. So, I don't think it'll work here, but, you know, I will never deny a Space Cow pick. It's always good in my heart.
Okay, well, it's Rubik Lena, so they've grabbed themselves their two supports. Strong trialing will likely be coming from them. Darkseer goes into the offlane or can go to the mid depending on what kind of matchup he's expecting, but this looks like very, very standard from Duza. And we sort of talk about this being it's a 3-team qualifier for one spot. The other team was, I think, Team Poseidon.
So how does it work? Do they play like a 3-way round robin?
I think they'll do a round robin, and then the problem is if there's ties, I don't know what they'll do.
And so this is just one of the matches for the...
Yeah, one of 3. The other 2 are not played until tomorrow, though. So there'll be 2 more best of ones probably tomorrow to figure out who gets this last spot in Group B.
And then after this, we have another best of 2 series?
Yes. Next KZ taking on Cascade.
Oh, that's a match I want to see.
Yeah.
Both of them are capable of taking a game with each other, and I think that's actually a fight for the 3rd place slot, perhaps.
Well, I feel between them, those 2 teams as well as VP can all be fighting for that 3rd place spot, but maybe
VP's
more so these 2.
VP's done.
VP will be hoping for a 1-1 draw, because that probably helps them out more as far as getting 3rd place. If there's a 2-0, that team will suddenly be looking really good to get 3rd place. And especially Cascade, because Cascade have already taken the game off VP.
Yes.
So...
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Anything that jumps out you from this draft, particularly Clockwork as a 3rd pickup, maybe...
Absolutely nothing, to be honest.
Okay.
Very standard. The early Chen pick, I guess, maybe, but... I think teams are not taking any big risks or drafting anything too out of the ordinary, and I see both teams going with safe lane, tri lane, and just standard lanes as well.
Yeah, there's a Chen that is on DTS 2010, but at the same time, you don't really have enough pushing power from other heroes to make this hero go insane. Like you're not picking Vengeful Spirit and then a Beastmaster, for example. So it's just really picking good heroes. I don't see any outlying synergy. I guess one thing to be said is that Duza does have pretty good ganking supports, which DTS 2010 so far has Nick Assassin Chen, which is not too bad in its own right as well. And here comes a little bit of divergence. We're gonna see one of your favorite combos, Vacuum into a big crit cleave.
Oh yeah, I love the Darkseer Sven. I'm not a big fan of Sven in general. Oh, I hate the Sven support. I'm glad Sven support has not been seen in the metagame.
Oh man, Sven support back in the days.
Year or 2.
Remember the Chinese team to run Sven supports, and it was just
every time I saw this, I'd be like, this is the worst thing
ever.
in the metagame. Yeah, it was just absolute. It would lose so many games, and an under-farm Sven, under level 10 was just a sight to see. You would just. It was a big sack.
Well, we're not going to see a Sven support, I can tell you
Nope.
that. Any solo mid you have in mind? For example, Troll Warlord gets banned
Oh,
out. That could have been pretty
Battle
sick.
Trance Sven. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been. Basically, you don't have to go for the Mask of Madness. You can just go the BKB cleave if you have the Battle Trance attack speed. So.
I mean, if you just have Puck, that'll be good enough.
yeah,
for,
Puck
for
would be
Duza.
super standard, but I guess they have the Darkseid to give him a good teamfight control, but having a Puck to initiate on top of that wouldn't be too bad. Timbersaw, I was about to say, would be maybe another possibility, but already banned out.
I personally like Kunkka here. If they have the hero to run it, like your Kunkka solo mid.
Bat Rider just got banned. We haven't been.
What?
We haven't been
I just
all
assumed
over
it was
this.
banned.
Yeah, but so we haven't been all over this draft looking at every possible pick because we came in a couple picks in. But yeah, Bat Rider. What is this? Let me explain.
There's no
Give me
explanation
answers.
other than the fact that they know each other well and neither of them are comfortable or good enough to play Bat.
They're good enough to play Shadow Fiend. I've seen Seema the Slayer in previous. I think it was in the last WePlay tournament. He's I think he's their solo player. Or at
Okay.
least he's known for playing these sort of solo mid-type heroes like Shadow Fiend. And
Is he as pro as Relic?
he reminds me of a Relic type player. He's always on these just random cis teams, and he looks to play this just like solo carry pub style of play. I say pub style, but just not in a mean way, but in a way that it's like
A particular play style.
yeah, it's that play style. The Arteezy. Well, Arteezy doesn't play it anymore. He's now that he's made the step up to sort of pro Dota. He's played a much more team-based style.
And here comes the Stormster, another hero that's...
Ooh.
Are we going to see the Fable Storm SF matchup? That's a matchup that you have in pubs all day, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Well, it looks like we will. And you mentioned this is where I give Duza Gaming an edge because you mentioned the power of their two supports. Rubik Lina can gank for days. It's a bit obvious when they go off the lane.
Not too bad either.
It's not too bad, I agree. But it's a bit obvious when, especially the Rubik Lina go off the lane, which is when maybe the Chen Nyx have a bit of an advantage, because Chen, he's always in the jungle, so he could almost gank the Storm Spirit on his own very early on.
Ooh, early smoke of the seed. This is, again,
Not a
not
big
something
fan.
that you're a fan of, but
No.
remember last time we saw early smoke and some people like hit themselves in this like
Yeah.
awkward niche, and that's cool, but what about this one? Are we seeing a level 1 Roach? I don't think that's
No,
the case. No.
they haven't got items. They're heading a different direction. They just want to get down in this Radiant jungle and try to find a pick off.
It's a Weaver,
They've got
though.
sentries, so they can get this kill. Sentry ward with 3 disables here.
Sentry Warrior and a Sven Stun is probably their best lead off, and Sven
Yeah.
falling a little bit behind right now.
Then you follow that up with you got a telekinesis Sven stun, and then you've got
I mean,
your
you got-
Lina Light Strike array. But Weaver, if he's smart, just hugs this tower, and it's actually Seema playing that Weaver. So introduce our two teams over on the Radiant side. It's DTS2010 exclamation mark. Got to make sure we get every little bit of punctuation there. Seema the Slayer on the Weaver. Gonna have Nyx Assassin being played by ...
Mhm.
We're gonna have Talento DeBario playing the Chen. M and S54 on the Shadow Fiend. These guys are not making it easy with their names. And CA playing the Clockwork. The triple dot, it's an ellipsis, correct?
Triple dot is an ellipsis, yes. Still better than, well, actually, Lumi lessons of the day. ...
Define ... I don't know. How does that not show anything? I think it's ellipsis.
Okay. Omission from speech or writing that are superfluous or able to be understood. Contextual clues. ... Yeah.
Alright, maybe it's on ellipsis.
No, it is an ellipsis.
Alright, well, I'm glad we can actually call this guy something. Ellipsis. I don't know what to call this Shadow Fiend. Okay, ... Good.
Good.
I feel like a bit clever today, and I hope everyone in the chat feels a bit more educated.
Still better than the online, or not online, on the spot Lumi Chinese translation of flying wind, flying moon, wind,
Yeah.
moon, and Satan underlord.
Also better than the centrical moment. That was
Centrical Tiger
that was,
Dragon.
that was
That's just-
ugly.
But we have our English.
We're on top of things today.
For those of you guys that are not following MLG, I made a reference to Relic earlier, which is a player in MLG that played amazing Shadow Fiend and had like a 22-0 streak the other day.
Yep.
So definitely your pub star. And for those of you that are not following MLG, you should be. Good
We
stuff going on.
broadcasting it on Sunday, I want to say. Yeah, it's Friday
Well,
day. Yep,
Not
Sunday.
we, but we
No.
in BTS.
Yep.
Not we as in Lumion Gods, which is...
Let me beer about that. I broke the news on
on
this
my stream. It was like, what the fuck? No, actually, MLG Dota is fun to watch, not necessarily fun to cast, because I see you and Ben are having heart attacks.
Every now and then there'll be a slow game, and we're just like, Well, the heart attacks came when we had a power outage on the very first day. Like, first time ever working with MLG. We got a first broadcast, and then suddenly power goes out, and I'm like, Jesus, this is the last thing I needed. I don't care if power goes out in Alster. I'm just like, cool, whatever. It's BTS. No one to get mad at me. Nah, but MLG, it's something like, oh crap, we gotta fix this.
All right, Ellipsis. Gonna be playing.
You need to introduce Duza.
Oh, I do.
Yep.
I do. All right, here we go. Limbo is gonna be playing Sven on the top lane, joined by Unstable. Or is that Lunestable? No, it's just Unstable. Luna. We have Stormstrike going in the mid lane here. Tagged up with Legion. Mid the best on the jungle Darkster, and last but not least, Capron. Capron. Haha. Capron. How do you say that? Capron.
Capron?
On
Capron?
Rubik. He just has prawn in his name.
Yep. Well, it is the fabled SF versus Storm Pub matchup. Who do you edge? Close, even matchup? Or do you think one hero has a big edge?
Check items. Both were pulled. I imagine, well, I don't know this matchup myself that too well. I think Shadow Fiend has the edge. Like, the first couple level is going to be hard, but eventually Shadow Fiend's going to get enough last hits. And then what is really going to Storm going to do?
I think the question is, can Storm actually kill at level 6, which often... That's what just someone like Blitz would be like, well, Shadow Fiend can do well and farm okay, but level 6, you just go for the kill.
But the thing is, you have to kill him, right?
Yeah. If
Whereas
you don't kill him, you
kill
lose.
him passively, the advantage is the SFs.
Yep,
So.
I agree there. Clockwork as an offlaner looking to do what harass and zoning he can with Cogs. He's already actually mana burned the Sven once, which is going to be very annoying. Sven actually going for a Quelling Blade. I think he realizes, sure, they'd want to get kills here, but it may just be a very like free farmy type lane. That both teams going with a safe lane, tri lane, so both carries should just be looking to get as much farm as they can.
Yeah, he's definitely getting the farm, but at the same time, Clockwork's getting a ton of levels. Clockwork is the hero that you pick and you hope to have a good lane, and when he does, then he gets to rotate off the lane like 5-6 minutes in, perhaps to set up that kill on the mid lane on Storm. That's exactly what you're looking for, and he's getting every bit of that.
Yeah.
Maybe too easily, in fact, as well. Back in the jungle here, we have Darkster just farming away, chopping through clarity and whatnot. Is he stacking this camp? No, looks like he has cleared it up. Very kind of strange jungle pattern. You do see a Darkster a lot of times just stack this camp endlessly, but he wants to actually just go back on the bot lane.
Yeah, but he just started surging himself. So he sees this early tower push coming in and says, okay, we don't want to give up a tier 1 tower. We're not going to be able to take this top tower because Sven, Lina, and Rubik do not have much pushing power. That Cogs can also be used to stop them pushing, so he wants to defend this, needs to get some Iron Shells down, does do so, and unless this Radiant team focus down that Iron Shell creep, which they do just that.
Yep. But he's getting a little bit of experience. There's a glyph available as well, but he's got to be somewhat careful because a dive is a possibility. But maybe not too much because there's not a secondary spell.
He got the creeps off tower, which is the big thing.
Yeah,
that's something that's hard to do often, but he managed to.
Yeah, that's you know how he did it? He popped the Iron Shell on the enemy creeps. So when there's something like that happening, it will draw the creep aggro off the tower. And Stormster gets a 2-minute and 45-second rune. I'll tell you that you will never see that again in a high-level pro game. Because
do you think so? Well, I mean, we talked about this last game with Sing in the Pug vs. Quap. Quap was like, I don't want to get runes, I just want to bottle Crow.
I mean, I'm more to the sense that the supports generally are there before the rune even spawns.
They were pushing bottom tower. Though,
yeah,
so.
that's a very rare occurrence. A lot of pros, or excuse me, a lot of the higher-level teams would like to kind of push after checking the rune, for example.
Yeah, because if those supports pick up a haste rune, they maybe get a kill on the Darkseer.
Exactly. Back on the top lane here, we have Clockwork going at it, maybe even going for a solo kill. He's got boots of speed and 2 levels of battery assault. The lift from Capron toss him back. That's good harass coming in from Clockwork, forcing a spell out like that from Rubik.
Yeah. Clockwork wants to go back in. Like you say, level 2 battery assault. He gets a kill on Rubik if he can isolate him alone. Mid lane, meanwhile, Legion's gone in on the Shadow Fiend. He wants his kill, but he's going to go down himself.
To the tower.
Baited in. Shadow Fiend. He thought he had the kill, but Shadow Fiend had just got his bottle out and manages to use that to help keep himself alive.
He's also got the magic stick, which I'm sure was a big part of it and activated as well. Back on the top lane here, CA still playing aggressively into 2 supports. Again, if he's going to suffer a little bit of harass, he doesn't care. He's pulled a little bit of regen as well. Sven's got somewhat careful in lane. He's only got 420 or 460 HP without a boot. I think he's rushing for a quick Midas. I actually think that Clock could get a kill on him if he gets a good clock in, especially when these supports are pulling or something like that.
If he got like one more cog harass or another cog harass or 2 so that Sven didn't have stun mana, he could play even more aggressive, but he's very wary of the killing potential of this lane. It's a level 2 stun.
Here they come. Lift into a toss back. The LSA's got to land. They do land. The Storm Hammer's going to come through as well, and that should be it. No amount of college will save him through that one.
And Sven gets the kill, so that's his Midas very, very soon. 150 gold away from it.
I think he should maybe get a magic stick. I don't think a magic stick will help him survive that particular gank, but he would have got enough magic stick charges to perhaps survive the next one. So A little bit unfortunate.
Meanwhile, T1 push is coming at bottom lane. Nyx picks up the rune. You talk about supports getting ruined. Well, they can make use of haste, invis, even illusion runes to drag creeps off tower, and they do just that here. Darkseer unable to defend tower, even with the level 3 Iron Shell. So smart pushing coming out from the Radiant DTS 2010 team.
Yeah, and this is where the lack of a level 6 Storm really hurts. The supports are coming from his team to gank that Shadow Fiend, and you can see a Legion walking in to get the pull. He is going to grab it off. We're going to see a lift to follow up, LSA to follow through. Do they have enough damage to actually kill him, though? I really don't think so. A 2-man Nice Impale, 1 raise. The second raise is going to get a double kill. Where's the second raise? That's 1. Looks like Capron has actually edged away. No, he dies to the Monitor. Huge play here. And oh!
He's got another medium rage in just a second here. Oh, he needed the long raise.
Yeah, he's afraid to chase up the hill. Maybe there's going to be a remnant waiting for him, but that's a good play here from coming out from DTS 2010. Survived a 2-man smoke gank.
Clockwork, it's a solo kill on Sven at top meanwhile.
Yeah.
Sven, who didn't go Midas, he picked up treads, and you think the treads would maybe be something which can help him just win this lane even harder, but
I mean,
not the case.
Seeing the fact that he was at 460 HP earlier, I don't know what his HP level was, and the fact that there was 2 levels of battery assault, you do definitely go for that solo kill, and you can, and glad to see him play
Useful experience. Clockwork getting closer and closer at level 6. He's happy to trade his life for that kill and slow down the Sven's farm.
Okay, I was going to say, can he get to level 6 before Storm does? But Storm obviously got the solo experience of killing a Nyx assassin up top, so... In fact, once he gets to level 6, he could, for example, solo kill Lina anytime he wants. So that's something that...
Lina, Rubik as well.
Easy kills. Do you know if you could lift if you get battery assault?
You can. So you could lift him out of his own cogs, I guess, but then he just goes back in.
If you're under the mini sense of battery assault, do you have enough cast time?
Yes, you can lift.
Okay. Well, that's a useful piece of information. Clockwork.
There's not many. I mean, there's very few spells you can't actually cast.
Like Bane can't cast anything.
Yeah, Bane, Earthshaker, SFLT.
Yeah, Lina, I don't think she could cast many of her spells.
You could Laguna Blade, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, you can.
I think you can Dragon Slave. I think it's just the LSA you can't.
Which is the more important one.
Cast delay 0.5, and I'm not exactly sure what battery assault interval is. 0.7. I feel like. Are you sure you can't cast Lina Stun? Is that
Maybe.
a definite?
It's not a definite. It's like what you call it, a Dota sense. My Dota sense not as good as yours.
It's one of those things. I think it depends on like the time, because you have to keep on spamming to recast it.
Yeah, it also depends on like where you're facing, which matters.
Yes,
you can't
turn it.
Yeah, so
I think you might be able to Lina Stun with battery assault. I think it also depends on how far the proximity of the hero, because when you're closer, the battery assault's coming like a bit more instantly. I'm saying you can Lina Stun, like in certain situations. But SF at mid lane is just absolutely snowballing all of a sudden. He's 2-0-1, 60 unit kills. He's been killing off this small camp as well in between waves, and that's actually just boosting his farm as well as XP game tremendously. He's level 9, going straight BKB, not going for the Shadow Blade, but this game I think BKB right off the bat is the way to play.
This is something that you should always do. Once you push the creep wave across the ledge, and then the equilibrium gets a little bit dangerous across the tower, especially against the Stormseer with, the 2 smoked support that can kill at any time. You just go back here, stack the neutrals a little bit, kill the neutrals if you want, and wait for the creep wave to slowly push back. You're not going to lose too much on gold. And here we go. The supports are going to come out here from DTS 2010.
Yeah.
These are not exactly your best defensive supports, so I don't think Shadow Fiend is still walking in lane, feeling he's the man. But on the other side, the supports have left.
Well, Clockwork doesn't know they've left, so he's actually playing very close to his tower. He only just hit level 6, despite being level 5.5 for a long time, because he thinks the supports may be ganking him, but he knows they're not pulling, so unless they're just sitting like right in the jungle for like 2 minutes straight, he should have a pretty good idea that they are located around this middle lane looking for a gank.
Yeah, he knows now. The Lina chasing SF a little bit down the river. A Illusion Ring gets picked up. Did they really want to set up a kill mid? No, they want to smoke up top. Yep. It's a lot harder to set up that kill mid, and Capron might be going to get pincer from both sides. He's just 1 hook away from death. Can Clockwork get the vision? Yes, he will now. Where's the hook? Nothing just yet.
The neutral creeps as well as those creeps probably doing a bit of blocking here. That lift is not going to offer a whole lot, but it will get a chain stun here. Not the best time stunned, unfortunately. And Lina going to take a fall. Is there a hook shot? There sure as hell is. He needs vision of either Sven or someone.
Oh, he misses! That was too close, but they're not done just yet. They will have another Impale coming off cooldown right now. Sakuchi's coming out. Seven players coming out of nowhere, but look, oh, he wants to get a man fight going on, but a nice Impale coming out. Looks like the Chen's going to die to the tower focus.
That's Lina coming back as well, and Weaver now needs to get on the run. He's gone for 3 in Gemini, so he's got no swarm to sort of deter them from chasing, but pops the south. Shikuchi's right after, so he doesn't take any damage, and nice bit of play from Seema here, actually coming to the fight, something you don't often see from safe lane carries, but becoming much more the trend, especially safe lane farming Weavers.
Yeah, we've seen even solo mid Weaver making similar type of plays. As a Weaver, you just have to make those type of aggressive play. You're not a gyrocopter. You're not a Sven per se that could farm your way in and late game and carry. You're a key Weaver that.
Oh. SF doesn't go for this T1 mid tower. He was getting it down to deny range, but he chickened out.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Was he afraid of Storm? He's pinging it out. He's gonna go for the solo kill. I think he just walk across the ledge and man up. Man up.
Storm has a TP, so Storm is ready to go for this.
Weaver's
There's no glyph though.
Yeah,
That's much smarter.
Yeah.
Weaver will get it, and TP in will not matter. Storm was maybe trying to see if SF started running past creeps, maybe Storm TPs and goes for the kill.
That's fair.
Because of pull under tower, I think, well, 1200 HP, I don't think Storm can solo kill Maxi. Would need the second TP. So,
Meanwhile,
SF is just, he's filthy rich.
He is filthy rich. I mean, if he got the tower kill, he would have been even close to finishing his BKB. But Darkseer, since the rotation that Weaver has made, he's got himself a ton of farm here. Level 9, not too bad. 1400 gold. Buckler and Hedris could be bought right now. Top lane here, we have Sven just farming away. He has protection of Central Ward, and that's going to be key to a level 6 support Nyx Assassin. He's going to go in. All he needs to do is just impale.
That sentry's not in range. He just walked in range now.
There's the impale. Oh, the sun's not going to hit. The Clockwork Hook's had to follow up. Can he find it? Can he find it? The Juke's coming out, and he's... Oh, nicely done. And of course, they are going to get Limbo. No! What a toss coming out. One more rocket. He's still alive. He still could... Oh, nice surge. One hit, though, from the SF is going to bring him down. Meanwhile, two-man call trapping them in. Shadow Fiend is going to get unleashed. And another three-man impale from Ellipsis. Storm's going to zip back out. SF fighting under the tower. Still will survive. 6 magic wand charges in a couple more seconds. He's still thinking about it. Got the haste available.
He's got double raises, maybe even triple raises after this one. He's got triple raise, so if they chase into this, it's going to be disaster for Duza. As DTS2010 finds some amazing kills at this top lane. What a great fight for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ellipsis has been playing so well right now. These impels, 2-man impel, 3-man impel, has been absolutely impeccable. They're going to walk past this Observer Ward again, and that's going to give cue for everybody on Duza to back off. How's this Sven doing? He's got solo killed or just got ganked under his tower multiple times. I don't really think he's going to have the impact. Sven is a very snowball-based carry. I feel like you have to get a lot of early game kills.
Yeah, I feel this is where Sven as a carry did fall off quite tremendously. And also with Mag becoming less poppy, you don't have the Empower Sven. So this Sven is just going to carry pretty much on his own. We'll have some help from a Vacuum, as well as maybe Storm Spirit finding targets to go on. But in general, being this under-farmed at this point in the game is a big, big problem for Duza.
Yep. And here we go. Shadow Fiend going to be working on this tower. He's got his BKB right now. Well, after maybe 50 more gold. And suddenly, he is unkillable. There's nothing on Duza's side that could deal with it. I mean, Sven could right
zip pull if they can time their disables before and get him before he pops BKB, but that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, if he sees a ball coming in, he would just pop BKB, which maybe that's what Storm wants. He could zip in, force BKB, and zip back. That's good too. But at the same time, Shadow Fiend at the middle, we saw him on the top lane. He was dropping low enough, but just with String Treads and Ogre Club and activation of Magic Wand, they couldn't kill him. And now with the magical immunity above that, it's going to get harder. Invis Ring going to get picked up here, scouted out by Observer Ward.
So for Duza, do they look to take fights? I feel they've got a very early game fight type lineup, but now with an SF BKB and their Sven under farm, it's hard to do so.
I think they go for a split push. You have the heroes to do it with the Darkseer, with Surge at this point. Still perhaps could get yourself out of trouble. Stormseer definitely could do it.
You're against Clockwork though. Clockwork,
yeah,
the anti-split push hero.
That's definitely true. I think the game right now is not really in Duza's hand. I think they have to play reactionary. It's really much in DTS 2010's hand. Do they want to push? That's a question. And to me, I think they do.
Well, Weaver at bottom lane is actually going to scout out the Lina here in the jungle. And with a TP in from SF, pops an Invis rune as well. They're going to try and chase down some of these heroes. Darkseer needs to be especially careful.
Well, Darkseer thinks he's safe. He thinks he's
they don't go looking. I think they just assume those heroes may have TP'd down. They're going to find a different target, which is Capron.
Sentry Ward. He's completely available. He can steal it and just run away. Thank you very much.
Capron baited them in with that sentry just so he could steal Shikuchi. That's a value sentry.
I mean, again, I want to praise on Duza's support right now. Multiple times already have sentries available to check things out.
Yep.
Probably the sentry might be a little bit more needed to be in lane on the top one.
Because Nyx actually got in. Initially wasn't in the Sentry Ward range. It was only when he went in for the Vendetta hit when he angled off to the right where he got spotted.
And once the Nyx Assassin gets so close, your Savannah is just probably dead.
Yep. Well, we are going to see a D-Sentry happening at bottom lane.
Okay, and now immediately we're going to see Ellipsis going in, probably rotating behind. Sentry going to get dropped again defensively. And again!
It may not save his life though. Straight up Impale if he wants to. No, they got vision.
Yes, they do. Laguna Blade, everything is going to get dropped. No, he's out of mana for the Laguna Blade. Capron dropping low, he's going to be fine.
There's 5 mana short for the Laguna Blade. And the Telekinesis was there trying to set it up so there was no Spike Carapace to dodge the Laguna Blade, but looks like Radiant Team are just going to take this tier 2 tower. It's very low already, and SF doesn't mind taking a little bit of damage, and Weaver going to poke in as well, and Siege Creep helping them out here.
Yep, and again, I feel like the momentum of the game is very much so on DTS 2010.
Is there a hook?
Yes, there is.
Does he go for this? I
mean,
his
he
team's already
finds
backing
Rubik.
off. His team's backing off, though. He doesn't want to go in alone, and also they want to just stop this Sven from getting more farm at top lane. They should just look to TP to this tier 2. Either SF or Weaver wants to go top.
I think if you're Radiant, you could sack that T1 top and go for straight Roche right now if you want. They have so much damage output and tank power from the Chen creeps, but
they're just so far ahead that what's going to help Duza is get a BKB on Sven. So I think they may as well try and fight this, or at least force them to retreat.
SF just TPs up top against 2 heroes.
The Clockwork was there as well. Clockwork TP'd to the tier 2 just in case they went on the SF.
Yeah, and if they did, they would have died there because Shadow Fiend BKB and suddenly Clockwork coming in, getting the stun. Back in the middle lane here, it looks like Impale going to go right on. Ooh, Vendetta hit, not going to do enough to actually get the kill. Sven, so very tanky hero. In fact, they toss him back. Any stealing? No stolen spells just yet. The sun's going to hit through on some of the Slayer, though. Got to be very careful. Do we have a telekinesis lift? That's on cooldown as well. Backtrack. No steal spelling by Rubik. He could have.
I think he wants the
Vendetta.
Shikuchi.
Yeah, he wants Sakushi, but Vendetta might be.
No.
No? Sakushi all the time, all the way?
Yeah. Unless there's a big... maybe you still want to steal Impale in the middle of a fight, but I think there's not many spells you'd want to replace Shikuchi with.
Okay.
Impale being the only one that I noticed that you'd want. I mean, and that's only like if it's mid-team fight. Like if you're just trying to play a ganking game, Shikuchi's often better than Impale.
I think in this game, Requiem is something that you look towards to steal in the middle of fight. Clockwork Hook.
Maybe Clockwork Hook I don't think is even that good to steal.
As a like a follow-up stun. Maybe it does go through BKB, which is something that they need against Shadow Fiend. And maybe stealing Can of God if you can. That's pretty cool too as well. But Sakuchi is definitely the one that you look for.
Yep. And Weaver is going to have a Lincoln, so that's going to make that Shikuchi still a little bit harder if you're just going to casually throw it on it, try and use it on it. And this Weaver, with 16 mid Linkers, will be going towards that sort of standard Desolator build most likely next. And the Radiant team are just happy to try and fight, push the issue right now. They know they're really far ahead. SF, level 11, so he got a very fast BKB, but he's not complete. I feel like he's not snowballing out of control just yet. He's trying to come to some fights here, trying to push towers. He's not just doing that big farming, that relic-esque Shadow thing where you just try and get maxed out as fast as possible.
I mean, on the scoreboard, he doesn't look like he's seeming out of control, but you see that since the BKB purchase, they were able to roll down tier 1 bot, tier 2 bot, and now tier 2 mid. Like, he's not getting any kills, but that's not the only way to win the game. He's helping his team push and making sure that Duza can't engage into them because of the Shadow Fiend BKB. Yep. So it's not a hero explosive snowball build, but I think he's snowballing in his own right and helping his team to snowball, more importantly.
Rubik just threw a spell still at Weaver, but notices, hey, there's a Lincoln's there, so he's still got no spell. He really wants that Shikuchi, but next time we'll have to throw a Fade Bolt or something first, and we do see Sven TP home. I thought I was about to say, is he TPing back against BKB? He's still got 500 gold to go, and this means that this top tier 2 tower is probably going to get sacked as well.
I think if you are Dire, you just say,
Sneak
sack
Roche?
the tier 2 and go Roche.
Yeah.
Pop your God Strength and make something of it, because if you just farm for the next 2 minutes and give him the tier 2
Or
tower
at least
for
get the
free,
tier 1 mid.
yeah, well, there's a Rocket Flare checking through Roche and going to the bot lane. I think this is not a good use of their time, to be completely honest.
The problem is, if they go for Roshan and DTS2010 knows, they'll definitely TP and stop it, even if it means not getting this top tier 2 tower.
So they're going to go for a tower trade instead, which is not bad at all either. So.
It looks that way. Let's see if there's any reaction. Glyph as well as TPs. They want to fight this. They don't want to give anything to Duza right now. There's no good chasing potential unless it's a Clockwork who hooks. And where's Clockwork? Is he cutting them off? He TP'd to the tier 2, it looks like. I would love to see Clockwork as top lane, so just try and cut off their retreat. He doesn't need a TP.
Just walk mid.
Have Nixon and Weaver TP and start walking towards and hookshot whoever's retreating, but it's still DTS 2010 in control, like you said, even without this top tier 2 tower being put under any pressure.
Oh, Limbo think he's safe. He says, alright, creep wave in front of tower, let's get some farm. But here comes Clockwork, looking for the hook,
And he's 150 from his BKB.
Clockwork Hook's gonna come right through Battery Assault. He's trying to cast a stun. He does get it off, but here comes Weaver. The Impale's gonna follow through Hand of God to make sure that Clockwork's safe. And that's a kill. That's a tower, and they don't get anything
That was
in return.
a really nice blind hook, like weaving the gap between 2 creep waves. That was a very tough hook, making up for an earlier missed one. But this is a tower trade. This time there won't be any TPs, I don't think, from DTS 2010. They're going to go for the tier 2 top, and they should just keep applying a bit more pressure top. They want to basically force out TPs to this top tier 2 tower, and maybe even get some damage done with the Chen creep army and an SF who's hidden hard and hidden fast. Where's the defense? There's no one here. There's no glyph. This tower's going to get down to at least half HP, it looks like.
And in bad fight for Duza, this could be straight up Brax here. Checking out the wall level. He's only got level 1 wall at level 12, and that's kind of the weakness of leveling up Search level 2.
Well, tower goes down.
Yeah. I mean, they could still go for more if they're greedy, but I think they could play it safe.
They've got the mech on the Chen. Chen even with a Ghost Scepter on top. Chen losing his creep, so yeah, Tornado creep. Maybe should just been sitting back, but here's the zip in. They want the Ellipsis. He's going to pop them. They had a great vacuum, but there's an SF BKB. Requiem of Souls not doing anything to Sven. Sven got his BKB all of a sudden. He's actually just trying to man fight the SF. Unfortunately, SF with enough armor to maybe survive this one. Storm Spirit looking for SF. SF is low. He hasn't got any HP left. The BKB is one off, but it's Duza who's take a bit more damage than they would have liked there. Even though they hold, all they got was a Nyx Assassin.
I mean, that's good that Sven was able to survive to that fight with the BKB. I don't think that DTS 2010 was expecting that. I think DTS 2010 thought Sven's going to come in, Sven's going to get melted by SF, and that would be the game. But they hold on. Even though they lost a bit more, it's a lot better than what they could have taken 10 minutes ago or 2 minutes ago.
They did a lot of damage to all of DTS 2010. Weaver was down to a quarter HP, as was SF. But the fact they don't get these kills and all they do is hold, to me is like, it's not enough. They needed those key kills.
They could have got it. I think the Vacuum and Stormhammer wasn't on target. There was a 4-5 man Vacuum, and if there was a Stormhammer and LSA to follow through, it would have been a reverse team wipe going in the direction of
and
DTS.
SF with 5.3k gold.
Jesus.
If they want to end game fast, you could go for the Desolator for the minus armor on towers, if that's your way. But
I think you go straight Butterfly here.
Yeah, straight Butterfly or Manta style. Yeah, straight Butterfly it is. And this is going to negate all that Sven damage, or a lot of that Sven damage at least. Unless he's
35%
unless, well, assuming he's attacking you. If he's attacking someone next to you, he can get that cleave. Has he even got points in cleave yet? He's been, 1 point in cleave, so very, very little.
Yeah, I think this is where you actually want to take up Warcry, even though you want more cleave. Like, you just need the plus armor against the minus armor of Shadow Fiend and the Swarm. Like, there's just too much physical damage output coming out from just the SF alone.
Yep.
Weaver is going to slowly tag on as the game goes along, but...
Yeah, we talk about the SF physical damage. Weaver with a Desolator, that's where you get your minus armor from as well, and this Weaver hits even harder because of the SF aura.
Ellipsis going to find himself some kills.
Maybe. Oh, Clockwork Cook was needed. Could have just thrown a rocket there. With the Urn Charge and a rocket, it would have been enough. But
got a kill and sure.
He wanted the XP and gold aura.
Yeah, the aura.
Got to value it up.
Range.
Rockets actually stolen by Rubik. It looks like rockets stolen by Rubik. Scout out Roshan, but they go for Roche anyways. You got a Butterfly SF. They're gonna dare Duza to come fight him. All Duza might do is try and steal Aegis. Storm needs to drop a Revenant on the high ground. Yep, he's going up there. This is all in. This is like a
no, Legion, you gotta.
Clockwork should just rocket right there and get vision.
He should cog right on the Aegis. Going for it? No, Shadowfiend doesn't pick it up.
He drops an SF Requiem of Souls as well. Gonna get the Rubik here. Storm is also getting lowish on mana. Needs to just get the hell out of there. Sven pops a Warcry, but he does not want to stay around and fight. Weaver's chasing as well. The Beetle on the Storm, they will see that Storm is low mana. He uses the rest of it to get into his own base. I think they just go down mid here. Sure, top is missing a tier 3 tower, but they've got to push out that creep wave. Actually, Weaver TPing top. It looks like they will head towards that top lane. Lina with a disconnect, but right now, this game is looking very, very favored towards the Radiant squad.
I mean, I don't think there was anything they could have done there for Duza. I'm not even sure why the Rubik was there. He should have just been a Storm. He was on his own. If he got the Aegis, he got the Aegis. If he didn't and died, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
There was no reason why the Rubik.
And Storm making that accidentally attacking made a bit of a misplay there over on that.
Did it matter though? I think DTS just maybe lucked out.
They didn't even.
They didn't drop a cog. They didn't drop batteries.
They could have just rocketed to scout out the Storm as well. Like rocket wasn't on. It was up. I was thinking, hey, just rocket so you can see what the Storm's doing, and then you can. He could have hooked him just to stun him before the Roshan died. But looks like the game will continue on, and right now Duza with very few options to get back in this game. They're trying to just get BKBs up. Storm with a BKB. Combine that with a. I mean, this is the anything can happen kind of line. You could be down 10, 15, 20k gold, but one vacuum wall, Sven stun, and you're back in.
Yeah, you are literally back in because LSA is going to follow through. You have even telekinesis will follow through. So we'll see if there's the coordination. They need that type of coordination to get themselves back in the game. Of course, level 2 God Strength with Sven. Even on the only one level of cleave, it can't do it. Clockwork
Here, hook.
Yeah, it misses on Rubik.
Okay. Rubik on the low ground. May try and just steal that hook so he has something, because right now he's got absolutely no spells up his arsenal.
If he gets a Sea Rays, just slow down the push.
Not bad.
SF actually low on mana.
They're going for a smoke wraparound. This is how they get that big wombo combo to succeed.
No, they need detection.
Disaster.
They need detection. It's not going to work. They're going to focus on Shadow Fiend. Vacuum Storm! Oh my god, Wards are lifted. There's a... No, God Strafe was not going to be...
He's got Aegis though.
He's got Aegis. He's going to be back alive, but a great start of team fight. They also blow yet another hero alive as well. You retreat. I think you have done enough. Duza, great team play so far. Here comes slept the Slayer. I would say it's gonna hit as well. A follow-up Stormhammer. No, he got the timeline off.
Lincoln saving him from the pool, yeah.
But that's exactly what we talked about. They would have lost the game right there. I think Limbo could have popped the God Strength a little bit earlier and ensure 1 or 2 more kills, but they got 2 kills, I think, immediately. They got the Aegis kill immediately as well, and they defended. Good hold by Duza.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought maybe DTS, even after losing next, would just go for the Raxus top anyways, because all these big ultimates on cooldown, no wall, no God Strength, no BKBs, but they decide to back off, partly because they use the SFE respawned an insta BKB, which was entirely unneeded. If they save that BKB, they push an end. They are going to maybe just try and push an end now, recognizing the fact, hey, they're like, wait, why are we backing? They just used all these wombo combo ultis, which keep them in the game. We should just stay and push.
Yeah, I don't blame the SF for using its BKB because that's your natural reaction, right?
Yeah.
You pop alive from your Aegis, and then you just pop your BKB because you don't want to die.
It wasn't the right move, though.
Yeah, it wasn't because, well, everything was on cooldown at that point. Ooh, if you get a Clockwork Hook right now and pick off that Rubik.
Oh, Rubik.
What it was, Rubik, he's looking for
Why is he running forward?
There's a Lincoln Sphere. Like, he literally had to lift first and then spell seal. He's lucky that he's not dead right now.
Yeah, Clockwork could have hooked him as well. Clockwork was just being a bit tentative. He has got a gem on himself now, so you mentioned they need detection. Well, they've got it. And
No,
Clockwork...
Dire needs detection.
Yeah, that's true. The Clockwork should just straight up hook whoever he wants.
He's got Holy Persuasion. Steal some Centaur creeps, I guess.
Yeah?
Not bad, actually.
Wow.
They get stolen
it's passable, yeah.
They get stolen back.
There's definitely better out there. And
Clockwork Hook, and Stable's dead. Stormster's going to be zipping right, but BKB's already activated, and there's
That's a
no
good SF
follow-up. Oh, no. Looks like, ooh, here comes the SF trying to right-click dude. Oh, my
what? He's
God.
like two-shot him there. They waited long enough that they did have the Darkseer Wall of Replica back up, but it's not going to be enough, it looks like. Nyx Assassin just on the front lines. Limbo has not got BKB, and top Raxus will fall.
Limbo walked in without using a Warcry, and that's why he died. Like, you need to have Warcry up walking into the Shadow Fiend like that. He got two-shotted. That's Sven.
That was a decent-ish wall of replicas coming, but there's just too much of a difference between the farm of the two teams. SF already up to 3k gold. We'll look towards maybe the Helm of the Dominator for some lifesteal, or even just going straight into a Manta style to give even more illusion pushing power.
Yeah, I think the only reason that I worked the previous team fight
He stole a creep in mid lane. Capron's... Man, this is some serious trolling. He walks up, steals a creep, and...
Calls GG now.
Calls GG. That's a way to end in well, I don't know about style because he died and his creep immediately died, but DTS2010 get one step closer to earning themselves a spot in the WePlay Dota 2 tournament. They're not in yet. I think they have to win. If they win their next best of one, they're through. They're in. They're good to go. They're in Group B, which is, it looked like not the worst of groups. No Na'Vi, no Alliance. I think it was a group with EG, Fnatic, and some other teams. But
Dignitas? Fanatics is in the other group. It's
okay.
EG and Dignitas.
Yeah, the way they've done it is that most of the Eastern European teams, like the CIS teams, are all in similar groups. So I think Group B is one of the ones with a lot of American and Western European teams.
Okay.
We can maybe take a look at the groups in just a second, but
is that why they had the Russian EE with the?
Well, that's another story.
Well,
Group A is mostly
I want to see
European.
VP versus Retry. Come on.
Yeah.
That's the Russian matchup we're
Group
looking
C.
for.
I think we get the Retry versus Na'Vi.
That's
and Arsat was that fifth player not fifth, the fourth player. The fifth player is some Russian.
Some Russian. Some
Russian
other
player.
Russian.
Arsat is playing with PGG. According to their roster, PG's had rosters which looked like this before, and then on the day it's like, who are these players? It's not who he said would be playing, but we can see where we are here with our two groups. So Group B, where you see Flipside, that's going to be replaced by the winner of this qualifier. It's the WePlay Last Chance qualifier, but we're actually going to be bouncing ourselves to an actual match now. It's going to be Cascade versus Next
Not
KZ.
to say that these are not actual matches.
Yes, an actual main tournament match is what I mean to say. But Cascade versus Next KZ is your next match. It's scheduled for 8 minutes ago, which means we'll be hopping right in, I imagine. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, myself, Gods, as well as my partner, Lumi, will be bringing you Next KZ versus Cascade. Stay tuned.